Hey, well, good evening and welcome to the DRT Evening Edition. I am your host tonight, Jonathan Burns. Hey, thanks so much to take the time to check out what we do, how we do it, and how maybe you can be a part of what we have going on. This is our kickoff for the year. We've had the last couple of weeks of vacation. We're getting back into the swing of things. So I just want to share a little bit about, my journey so far in the insurance industry. And then I want to share, a big opportunity when it comes to business. Because I think a lot of times people are not just looking for just a paycheck and a career change. Yes, they're looking to make extra money, but also I really think that people are looking for something that, that they can really sink their teeth in, that's real, and you can build a business here. So I'll get into that more in depth today, but a little history about myself. I have been in the insurance industry now 20 years. I was 22 when I got in the business years ago. I was a construction guy. I moved heavy machinery around. I put down asphalt. I thought that that was going to be my career path because originally I was going to college. I was going to be a civil engineer, and I was working for my brother's father-in-law. I loved my job. Just wasn't making quite the amount of money that I was needing, to have a lifestyle, to have a family. Wintertime would roll around. It was tough for me to get the hours because I was getting paid per hour. Had to show up and clock in order to get paid. And I was getting paid per hour. And I wasn't making the amount of money in the wintertime, kind of like nowadays. I mean, like in the situation we're in now, it's cold, rainy, the ground is wet. It's tough to push mud around. So my income kind of got cut into a third. And my brother was in the insurance business. He offered me an opportunity to make some extra money while I was waiting for the summer to roll around where I could get back rolling. And, my response originally was like, man, I'm not a pencil pusher. That's not me. I wear boots every day when I show up to the job. I got to get dirt on my hands. And, my brother said, look, with your personality, if you just go to work, it's good old fashioned hard work. If you'll go to work, you can make a living. He said, matter of fact, he said, because I told him, I said, man, I got to have a paycheck. I got a truck payment, right? Like I'm young. I got a truck payment. He said, look, if you don't make the amount of money that you need, I'll personally write you a check out of my account. And I was like, man, this is a no lose situation. I'm in. My brother has yet to have to write me a check for that. So got in the business. We were helping families with life insurance. It didn't sound real sexy to me at the time or real cool. Like that wasn't the cool thing to do. But we were really truly helping families. We were helping middle America prepare for one of the worst days of their life. These families, middle to lower income America, they didn't have the funds to put the family in the ground. So we would put in a life insurance in place on them to where when they pass away, they had the funds for the funeral. I traveled throughout the Southeast. I'd leave on Monday. I'd pack my bags Tuesday night, Wednesday night, spend the night in a hotel because we traveled to these families. I'd go to their house, knock on their door, go in there, find out what the problem is, give them a policy in life insurance, make money, come home. And then we did that. We built up an agency, had a lot of agents going out doing the same thing that we were doing. And then COVID happened. As you guys know, COVID, the whole world kind of shut down with a lot of businesses. Some kind of took off, but a lot of people didn't want you coming to their homes. Rightfully so, right? So we had to find a way to transition to still help families, but how can we do that? So we got into the mortgage protection business. And I'll get more into about what that marketing term actually means, but we started doing things virtually. Now, I never thought that we were actually be able to help families virtually, but I think COVID prepared the clients to help over the phone. So mortgage protection is basically what it sounds like. We protect mortgages. So if you've ever bought a house or refinanced a house, you've gotten a letter in the mail about mortgage protection, protecting that mortgage in case of a death and or disability. So we help families. We partnered with these top-rated insurance companies. A lot of them are household names that you're very familiar with. And, we're the distribution for them. They do such a great job in creating products, but they just don't have the marketing means to get into these middle America homes. That's where we come into play. So we are part of that team that mails the letters. They're interested. They fill the card out. They sign it. They go online, they fill out information. So something expressed an interest to find out more about, hey, how can I protect my mortgage in case I pass away? That's where you would come into play. You would give them a call. You set an appointment with them. Most of the time, you are going to set this same day appointment. We have found that works out best. same time appointment. Most of the time, it's going to be in the afternoon, 3:30 till what I like to call dark 30, 8, 9, 10 o'clock, however late the client needs to meet with you, because you want to talk to both spouses at the same time. You go through the process, you give them a call, and we do all the training. You hear us talk about the daily roundtable. We do all the training, but you give them a call and you find out what the problem is. And most of the time, the problem is when the breadwinner passes away, the family cannot maintain the lifestyle and pay for the mortgage. So what we do is we help them get a life insurance in place. Go through the process online. It's an online application. You'll fill out the information while you have the client on the phone. You go through it, and a lot of our carriers will let you know if it's approved or denied. So there's no, there's no medical check, there's no physical, no blood work, make them run on a treadmill, none of that stuff. It's what we call simplified issue. And again, most of these carriers let you know right then on the spot if you put the client on the appropriate plan or not. Average commission, you make anywhere between $500 to $700 per case, and that's what our average case is. And I'll talk more about that here in a few minutes, but that's what our average case is in helping these families. Sometimes you double up and get them on both of the clients in the house, both spouses, because they want to make sure, hey, if my spouse passes away, somebody's got to help me raise the kids. I don't want to be strained to this mortgage. So it's a very simple process. We help you with all the training. It can be overwhelming. I did not know anything about insurance. I barely could even spell the word insurance. I didn't know anything about it. So we have a system in place where you can come in, plug in, learn how to go help these families, and it's a very simple process. Full-time agents, and I say full-time because a lot of people are looking at this as a part-time opportunity. We highly recommend part-time because it is straight commission. That scares a lot of people. I mean, it scared me because I'm like, at my old job, I show up. If I work for an hour, I'm going to get paid for that hour. This is straight commission, and it scares a lot of people, and it did me as well. But people that work, people that are willing to bet on themselves and not have somebody tell them how much they're worth, they do very well. So part-time, we highly recommend it. But if you do work part-time, we say you work full-time in that one day that you do work. So maybe it's a Saturday. Saturdays, clients are at home. They're not working, so you can help clients in the mid-afternoon, in the morning. So part-time, full-time, it doesn't matter. So when you go help a family in a day, 6 appointments is what the minimum that we have found will help you be successful. If you can set 6 appointments in a day in helping families, we found that 4 people will show up for the call. 2 people, life happens. They forgot that they had to go to an event with their child. They don't answer the phone. Life happens. But 4 people will actually answer the phone. You go through the process, you're going to help 1 to 2. It's a 50% closing rate once you get them on the phone, get them on camera. I didn't even mention that earlier, but that's part of our training. We send them an email. That way they can see your face. It's called virtual sales, not telesales. So we get the clients on camera. That way they see that I'm in an office, right? It's more trustworthy. They see my face. I'm a real person. And so that's why we call it virtual sales. So 6 appointments, 4 presentations, you'll help 2 families. Now, the way you get paid, I'm going to get more in depth now. I was going to use my iPad, Kyle, but I was using it earlier on another call, and it just kept blanking out the screen. So I'm afraid it's going to do that again. So I'm going old school. I've got my yellow pad right here, and I say old school, technology. You love it when it works, but dadgummit, sometimes when it don't work, it just fails you, right? But our average policy per month that a client will pay is $83 a month. All right. Insurance is based on age and health. The older they are, they won't have as much coverage. The younger they are, they would have more coverage. Okay. So $83 a month nationwide, that is our average premium. Obviously, some people pay $20 a month. Some people might even pay $150, $200 a month. Yes, you'd be surprised how many times people even pay $400 or $500 a month. But $83 a month, the way you get paid is we annualize that. And I got chicken scratch, but that's a fancy term for we multiply it times 12. Okay. So that is $1,000 of what we call annualized premium. The client pays $1,000 for the whole year for that policy. Now, the way you get paid, again, it is straight commission. Everybody starts the same with us. So we start you off at the entry level. Your commission rate, entry level, you would make $700 on that case. Okay. So 70% of what the annualized premium is, that's $700. We have commissions that go from 70% to 140%. And I'll talk more about that because we pay on performance, not just a position. And by the way, it's the insurance company that pays you. It's not me. It's not Equus. It's not your marketing organization. It's the insurance company. So 70%. What the insurance company will do is they advance you 75%. So what that means, they're going to act like the client has went ahead and paid 9 months of that premium up front right then and there. So you would get a deposit for that one client for $525. Again, I got chicken scratch, so you have to follow me. So 9 months of the commission, 75%. You would make $525 deposit. A lot of these carriers pay daily. Some of them, if you write a client on a Monday, it's in your bank account on Wednesday. Worst case, it's in your bank account by Friday. So they pay daily. So we always say if you write one app a day, you get paid every day. So the beauty about what we do, once that client pays 9 months, when the 10th month rolls around, you will get a check for $58. Okay. It's what we call our back end. So after they paid it 9 months, when they pay it the 10th month, they pay $58. You get paid $58 for that client paying their premium. The 11th month rolls around, you get another $58. The 12th month rolls around, you get another $58. Okay. If it's an insurance policy that occurs cash value, you'll get a small percentage of what the client pays for the next 9 years. Okay. So you got 10 years. If the client continues to pay, it's residuals. You continue to get paid on that policy. If it's a term policy, you don't make any more money on the client. Very simple process. The downside to what we work, because I like to be very transparent. The downside to what we do is if somebody only pays 8 months, then you would owe the company back $58. They don't come hound you, take it out of your bank account or anything. It just comes out of your next paycheck once you write another policy. Okay. It's what you call a chargeback. And you're probably going to lose 2 policies out of every 10 that you help families. People forget, they don't see the value in it anymore. You're going to lose 2 out of every 10. So very simple process. As you can see, you make $525 per sale. If you make 2 sales a day, 2 sales a month, 2 sales a week, whatever it is you're looking for to try to get right now, we have a path for you to help get you to that. So it's a very simple process in the sales, and it's all performance based. So you can earn your compensation more. And, we're in the distribution world, right? So there's only so many hours in the day that you can go help a family. When you go out and help a family, I'm sorry, my son just got dropped off right here. So he's in here sending me a note. He just literally wrote me a note and said, Dad, am I staying here with you or am I riding with somebody? You're staying here, huh, son? Sorry. Very transparent. See, this is real. I'm in my office and my son just got dropped off. So squirrel, Olivia. Sorry about that. So you get paid distribution. So the more families you help, the more compensation the insurance company wants to pay you because your value goes up, right? So you earn your compensation. There's only so many hours in the day that you can personally help a family. Okay. So the way you distribute more products is you have people that you bring in on your team and build an agency. That's what our system really entails. And a lot of people are like, well, I thought I was here about insurance sales. Yes, that's what we do, right? But it's here because you want to build a business. You're trying to get some freedom. You're trying to get out of the rat race to where you have to perform an activity in order to get paid. Why do so many people that you see in the world, and maybe you guys are close to somebody to where they work 20-something years at somewhere and they retired, or they worked 30 years, they retired, and they took their 401k and they went and bought a franchise. Maybe it was a Subway, maybe it was a Domino's, maybe it was a McDonald's or Dunkin' Donuts, whatever it was. Why would they go buy a franchise? It's because it has a system and it has proven results. That's why people buy franchises and they try to own a business, right? We have a system in place where you can bring somebody in, they plug into all of our online training, they plug in. We do this every day. You hear me say this is the daily roundtable. Every morning we have people that go out and help families that you have a front row ticket to ask them questions. I had this come up. How do you handle this? Have a question about this. Can you help me with this? So we have all the training. It's a system entailed. All it is now is all you invest in is you do have to have your insurance license to work with us because we're highly regulated in the space that we're in. You do have to have your insurance license to work with us. And you just invest in people. Bring people in because there's so many people out there, I believe, that are, number one, looking to make extra money. Number two, looking for a career change. And number three, I think there's people out there looking for a real business that they can get into without having to spend that big franchise fee of $1 million and having this real estate tied up and everything, right? And you say, well, what does that do for me if I build an agency? How is that going to work? Okay. As I told you, we have compensation that goes from 70% up to 140. And how you can get more than 100 pennies out of a dollar, I don't know, but these insurance companies have figured it out. So the first big promotion that we try to help you get to is sales manager. And the sales manager position is at the 90% level. I've seen people go up past the 90% quick, but the 90% level, okay? So that means when you go out and help a family, and let's, again, I'm going to use the average application, which is $1,000 of annualized premium. You now get 90% instead of the 70. Well, now you made $900 for helping that client. But again, remember, the insurance company advances you that first 9 months. So you actually get a deposit for $675. Okay. So follow me. You wrote the average policy here of $1,000. You promoted yourself. Notice how I said you promoted. Okay. Nobody promoted you. You work for yourself. You don't work for anybody else. You're 1099. You earn more compensation based on your performance. $900, insurance company advances you to 75%. $675, you get deposited for that one case. All right, so you already made more money just by earning more compensation based on your performance, okay? So now you know a lot of people you would probably get in business with. You know a heck of a lot more you'll never entertain. Like, I'm not calling that person, right? So let's just say you know 25 people right now that you would entertain getting in business with, okay? Out of 25 people, you're going to call them up and say, Willis, are you interested in making more money? They're either going to say yes or no. If they say no, you say, listen, I'm looking for people that are trying to make money. Let me know if you run across anybody. I'm not trying to sell Willis on getting in my business because I don't need Willis in my business, right? He needs me. You say, why is that, JB? Because I have a system. I have a system that I can plug people in and they can go out and make $250,000 a year just selling life insurance. They can make $500,000 a year selling life insurance. They can make $50,000, however much they want to make, right? So I don't need Willis in my business, right? So I have to sell them, okay? So 25 people that you know that you get in business. Out of 25 people, 15 are actually going to say, you know what, JB, I am interested in making money. What you got? Out of 15 people, they're going to get on tonight, on Thursday night, and listen to what we have going on. Out of 15, 10 are going to say, you know what, I do want to get in that business. I'm interested in making money the way you guys make money. They're going to get their insurance license. And again, remember, we're highly regulated. It's an online course. I've seen people do it in a weekend. I've seen people do it in 2 weeks. However, you can study chapter 1 before they allow you to go to chapter 2. 10 people are going to go through the course, and only 5 will actually pass their state exam and get their license. And you say, what happens to the other 5? They fizzle out. They don't have a big enough why they want this to work. They just fizzle out and they don't really see the value in it anymore for themselves. They're not willing to continue to go through the course. And again, it's only a weekend course. They call it a 40-hour course, but again, I've seen people run through it in a weekend. So out of 5 people that get their license, they show up, 2 people will quit. Okay. And you say, why, JB, why are they quitting? Because anybody can do what we do, but not everybody will. It's mental work. When I worked construction, I worked so hard outside. If I took a shower and got in bed for a few hours, I was recharged and ready to go the next day. In our business, it's mentally draining because you deal with people. It's mentally tough. So only the people that truly have a big enough why, like why they want this to work, why they need this to work, will continue to fight through those mental battles. So out of 3 people now, you put them on your team. And some of you are about to log off when you see this, right? You put 3 people on your team. And you're like, oh, JB, here comes the circles. I've been in that meeting and I was in that hotel room and they told me this juice was going to change my life forever. All I had to do was sign up 50, 11 million people and I was going to make $1. We don't sign people up. We put people in business, okay? So, and I'll tell you more about that, but you put people in business. So now you put somebody in business that was needing an opportunity. The way you earn compensation is you make money in the difference in your compensation and theirs. In this scenario here, you're a sales manager at 90%. Entry level, somebody comes in at 70%. 90 minus 70 is 20%. So if the client goes out, if the agent goes out and helps a family, $1,000 of annualized premium, that's what our national average is on one policy. You make 20% of that annualized premium. You get paid the same way as if you wrote it, but now your percentage is 20%. You make $200. The insurance company advances you 75% up front. You would make a deposit of $150 when you brought in one of your friends and showed them an opportunity where they could go out and make a living. $1,000, 20%, 75% advance, $150 that you get deposited. You have 3 people on your team. So $150 times 3, that's $450 that you made on Monday because each one of them went out and helped the family. You also deposited $675 yourself. So $675 plus $450, that's $1,125 that you made on Monday helping one family and teaching 3 people to help one family. What I love about this is you made $675, what we used to call on your own pen, because back in the day I used to have to fill out applications on paper, but you made $675 that avenue, but your business, all right, made $450. You say, how is that a business? Is because you have a system in place. You're putting somebody, it's like this analogy here. We're going to put a Subway franchise where you live, all right? But you got to put those ugly gloves on that go up to the elbow with a hairnet, and you need to say white or wheat because we need you to know how that sandwich is made before you get to the cash register. The sandwich that we make is helping a family. You have to know how to help a family. I've seen people that build great businesses. They know how to go help families. They master the art of going out and helping families. Then you bring somebody else in. We're going to put another Subway franchise in. You're going to put them in business because, again, they don't work for you. They work for themselves. They're 1099. They learn how to make that sandwich themselves. They make money. Now, where it gets really good is once you get up to sales manager, then our next promotion is regional manager. And you say, what does that entail? See, regional manager is you going out and just getting more distribution. So instead of 3 people, now you have 8 people going out. And by the way, when you get to sales manager, our company pays you a bonus on top of your commissions. You get a regional manager, not insurance company, but we also pay you a bonus out if you want to have your own office. A lot of people, when they get to regional manager, they have their own brick and mortar. It's kind of like you see all these state farms everywhere. You see these different Subway franchises and everything. We pay you a bonus to have that office, right? So the opportunity is there. Here's the beauty about, let's just say you get a regional manager. All right. And again, I'm going old school, and I say old school because I got chicken scratch handwriting. But you put these people in right now. When you get to RM, you're wanting to help somebody get to sales manager. That's what people come in because they're trying to build a business. You help them get to sales manager, right? So when that sales manager has an agent that writes a piece of business, you still make money because you brought that person in as a sales manager. So anything in this business, you would make money. And then that person is trying to get to sales manager, right? So when that person writes a piece of business, that sales manager gets paid, that sales manager gets paid, Now you as a regional manager, you continue to get paid. Okay. Here's why we are not a good old fashioned what? I've seen people talk all the time. That's a good old fashioned pyramid. I've seen it. I was at that meeting, and that's what a pyramid is. Corporate America is the biggest pyramid. No one can hold anybody back here. Matter of fact, if that person that's 4 or 5 people down starts writing business, starts distributing, and nobody else in the business is doing anything, they can supersede because everybody's got the same compensation. You can earn more comp. So corporate America is the biggest pyramid there is, and this is why. Let's just take, and I hate using names, but let's just take Walmart, for instance, okay? Walmart has a cashier, if there's one available. Most of the time you got to check yourself out, right? But they have a cashier. Then they have a head cashier. Then you have a department manager. Then you got a store manager. Then you got a regional manager. Then you got a district manager. Then you got the C-level people. Then you got the Waltons, okay? What's the chance that that cashier will ever become a Walton? None, unless they marry into the family, and that ain't happening, okay? They cannot become CEO of a business because they are stuck being a cashier. They might get head cashier if they're liked, right? It's all about, yeah, hey, you're performing well, so we'll give you this promotion. I always tell people, if you're somewhere and you feel like you're just stuck, right, and you're tired of playing the corporate political games, and you're tired of somebody having their thumb on you, this might be the opportunity for you right now. And it is an opportunity because I don't try to hire people as a job. I try to hire people that want to build a business, people that want to distribute products for insurance companies, because our value goes up as the more families that we go out and help. We have a proven system for you to come into to where it's a plug and play. There's not a big investment for you to get in. It's simply getting your insurance license and investing in people. That's all we ask. When you invest in people, you make a return by them going out and helping a family. But going back to corporate America, and I'm not bashing corporate America, because we do need a lot of those things in structure right now. But there's so many people out there that I feel like that in society, they thought that they were doing what they were told to do. Go to school, get an education, get their job. But nobody told them, like, hey, you do realize when you're at that job, if you don't go perform an activity, you don't make money. Like if you don't show up for your job, you don't get paid. Or if you don't go and do what they tell you to do, then they can let you go, right? So there's something that comes, and it took me, I guess, with age, when you realize that having freedom is way more than chasing a dollar figure. So when you get to do things and live life on your terms, that's when, it's freeing. That's when you realize, hey, I'm in the right place. So I always tell people is if you're in a career right now, look at somebody who's maybe 5 years, 10 years vested more than you in that career. If you like the lifestyle that they're living, you might be at the right spot. And maybe you'll get to that level if the stars line up and you don't get to control your own destiny, right? But if you're not happy with that lifestyle and you're like, I do not want to be that guy, things have got to change for me. One thing I've learned from our mentor is nothing changes until something changes. You might need to change the scenery. This might be something for you. So get with the person who invited you. They're going to show you how to take the next steps. Because again, you do have to have your insurance license to work with us. They're going to show you how to get in the course. We have a discount code. I think the course is like $59. Get your insurance license. It's going to cost you another $100. You're probably going to have $200 to $300 in insurance license before you can go out and help a family. You get your insurance license in the state that you live in. If you want to help families in other states, you just pay an extra fee to that state in order to conduct business. So you don't have to pass another test. They all reciprocate each other. You just have to pay more money in order to help families. So I've seen people on the East Coast, they help families on the West Coast because they're working till 3 o'clock, 5 o'clock, and then they get a couple extra hours where they can help families where the time changes. So get with the person who invited you. They're going to show you how to take the next steps. The next step, if you're like, JB, I've heard enough, this might be my opportunity. I'm in. Here's the challenge. We want you to get a sales manager as fast as possible. You don't have to learn how to make that sub. You don't have to learn how to help families. That's what we come into play. That's our value proposition to help you with our system, to help you help people train. Invite people next week. I've got a young girl who just turned 20 last month. She just turned 20 last month. I think she made over $10,000 in the month of December. She just turned 20. She made $10,000. She was a server and she was looking to make extra money because she wasn't getting enough hours, but she was a server. 20 years of age, she made $10,000 in a month. I'm going to have her on just to show you guys, hey, this is real, and somebody who's only been in the business 90 days. Because I've been in it 20 years. A lot of people say, well, JB, you've been doing it 20 years. You done figured out the things. No, I tell you what don't work. That's what my wisdom is. I can tell you what don't work the last 20 years. But she's going to come in next Thursday, 8 o'clock Eastern time. Who do you know that you would like to be in business with? Who do you know that you were going to have a running partner with? It's like right now we're in January. We're getting tomorrow is going to be what they call Quitters Day, where everybody had New Year's resolutions. Second Friday is Quitters Day. A lot of people are going to the gym. They found an accountability partner to show up at the gym with them. Who do you know that you would like to be in business with, that you want to be held accountable to, where it's like, hey, I want to run with my friend because I think enough of them to where I want them to hear this opportunity. There's a lot of people maybe you work with. So invite them to next Thursday. We do this every Thursday night, 8 o'clock Eastern time. Get them on the call. Listen to Emmy. She's doing a great job. Made a lot of money in the month of December, and she's only been here 90 days, and she's 20 years of age. So it's a great testimony to the system. It's a great testimony to the product knowledge of all of our mentors that we do the daily call, to where they go out and help people, help families. That's what we're here for. So give the person who invited you. I will see you guys next Thursday evening, 8 o'clock Eastern time, with my good friend Emmy. So see you guys. Hope you guys have a fantastic night.